One of the most famous Zelda games out there is Ocarina of Time, a game that changed the world when it finally launched. In it, players got to experience a 3D world for the very first time, filled with interesting locations, dungeons, puzzles, and also bosses. And when it comes to the last thing I just mentioned, Ocarina of Time is certainly very impressive, because most fights are very complex and different every time. However, while we fought many evils in the game, one of them got away. There's another villain we never got to fight and defeat in battle, the Running Man. Can you actually win the race you have with him? What will happen if you do win? And how can he always beat you? Well, today we will answer all those questions and more. Now, Ocarina of Time is known for its gigantic world filled with magnificent locations like Hyrule Castle Town. And of course, there was enough to do in the game. There are things to find as well as explore, like entire dungeons. Now, while the main quest was obviously the most important thing in the game because it allowed you to venture to new areas and obtain crucial items, a lot of players were also busy with a variety of side quests. From minigames that rewarded you with upgraded bags and quivers, to entire story-driven quests that took you all over the world. And when exploring the lands, you came across one weird guy that is almost always found on Hyrule Field, the Running Man. He runs around Hyrule Field during the Child Era after Link has obtained all 3 spiritual stones, and you can only speak with him when he stops for a break at night. He has an obsession with rabbits and wants to be known as the fastest man in Hyrule. Now, both in the Child Era and Adult Era, there's a side quest that involves the Running Man. However, today we are just going to talk about the race. Later on in the game, when you're an adult, he will challenge Link to a race from the tent in Gerudo Desert to the bridge outside of Kokiri Forest. However, the Running Man will always beat Link by just 1 second, and so you can never get the ultimate reward from beating him. But can you actually win? And if you do, what happens then? Well, this is what a lot of players have been wondering about for a very long time. And so they tried everything in their power to beat the Running Man at his own game, because clearly he was cheating. Now, there have been many proposed tricks and actions that allow you to beat the Running Man in the race to the bridge in the Lost Woods. For example, warping, leaving the game on for a certain amount of time, lifting the cartridge a small amount, and many more. They really tried all kinds of wacky things. Even speedrunners got involved at some point and tried to use glitches to win. For example, by using a glitch known as Time Stop that stops any timer in the game. However, all of them were false and didn't work in the end. So the Ocarina of Time community was kind of stuck. So was there really no way of beating him? Well, no, because someone actually succeeded. Because in January 2009, the user Rusty Sporks uploaded a video that showed how to beat the Running Man. First of all, he started the race. Then he turned back into Child Link and proceeded to wait at the finish line for a full week in real-world time. By doing this, he was able to actually win. At that point, the Running Man is stunned and congratulates you, but you don't get any reward, sadly enough. So, was this really how you beat the magnificent man with the fastest legs of Hyrule? Well, no. Because this turned out to be a huge hoax. Given that the race ends automatically after just 3 minutes, Link cannot enter the future without pulling the Master Sword, and leaving a Nintendo 64 on for a solid week will probably cause hardware issues. And in the end, it was even confirmed through the use of a cheating device that no matter what Link does, the Running Man will always beat him by 1 second. Additionally, Ocarina of Time's text dump shows that the game contains no dialogue to deal with Link beating the Running Man. So once again, the Ocarina of Time community was disappointed. Until something magical happened a couple of weeks ago. Because at Summer Games Done Quick 2022, there was one segment called Ocarina of Time Beta Showcase, where a group of people showed off all kinds of beta and cut content elements left in the game using glitches. And one thing they showed off is how you can beat the Running Man in Ocarina of Time. And believe me, this stuff is mind-blowing. In the run, they showed off all kinds of stuff, and I don't really have time to cover it all. So I will only cover the things that are important to us. Now, originally in the game, you were able to also play very long and complex Ocarina of Time songs. And using glitches that alter the game's code in some way, they were able to activate those once again. And so, if you go to the Gerudo Desert using a magical version of the Gerudo Mask, that was also cut from the game, you can talk to Naburu inside the fortress as a child and learn the full version of the Song of Time. This one has different powers compared to the one seen in the final game. With the long version, you can actually go forward 7 years to the adult era, or back 7 years to the child era, whenever you want, really. You don't have to go to the Master Sword anymore. This was gonna be a big mechanic in the game, but it was removed. However, with it, you can also beat the Running Man. Once you have it, you challenge the Running Man as adult Link. And after that, you use the song to go back to the child era and head to where the race ends. At that point, you play the song again, go back to the adult era, and you actually win the race. Now, after all of that, the Running Man is shocked that you won, and will actually tell you to go to the middle of Hyrule to receive your reward. Once you go there, you will find a giant rupee that explodes upon contact. This is another cut item that was supposed to be in the game. Now, after it explodes, the Running Man appears and you actually have to fight him. He has his own entire boss battle where he runs around, charges at you, and jumps. It is quite an intense fight, to be honest. And afterwards, when you beat him, you get a reward, and it's known as the Sage's Charm. This thing gives you more magic power and allows you to use medallions, which was another cut piece of content. At that point, he runs off into the sunset, and you completed the Running Man side quest and actually beat him. However, I will say some things in this run were actually fake and not really pieces of cut content. So I don't know how much of this was true. All I know for sure is that the longer Song of Time, fake giant rupee, and using medallions as items was actually in the game at some point. You can even see that in earlier screenshots. So while this does show off the Running Man side quest in a whole new way, I'm not sure if this was real. However, if it is, I'm very disappointed that Nintendo left it out. This would have been the perfect way to finish that side quest. So in the end, all of this is still a bit of a mystery. However, it isn't the only one like it in the Zelda community. A while ago, I also covered rumors about a 3DS version of Twilight Princess. So if you want to see that video, be sure to click in the upper right corner or on the screen right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. More videos are coming covering the beta showcase in interesting ways, so be on the lookout for that. If you have any video ideas, leave them down below. Please subscribe and click the bell button, leave a like, the whole 9 yards. It really helps, and I hope you liked it.